jokes for food. I wish a philanthropist YouTuber would just give me 10K and not film it. Hey, the hell happened to you? MrBeast, that's what happened to me.
What we do here is go back.
I was gonna be somebody. I was gonna be the Carl took my job. Carl took my job. It's the worst thing that you know to make me do. Oh no! I didn't. No. Okay, content cop from Temu back at it again. So just before I get into my interrogation with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle, a lot has happened since my last video. After posting like hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. You know, just people showing their support or telling their stories of you know, fake videos or unsafe practices, you know, toxic workplace, stuff like that. I'm not really gonna get.
I'm gonna say this. The fake video part is not a big deal. I don't give a shit. Fake videos are, it's just like reality TV. Everybody knows reality TV is fake, but it's pure entertainment. Who gives a shit? I'm just gonna say that. It's probably a really bad opinion or whatever, but fake videos is not the worst thing in the world. That's just me.
After posting like hundreds of messages from former MrBeast employees, and I had them all like send proof of former employment. You know, just people.
Just watch the video. I don't know if people are accusing you of not working on MrBeast, but bro, I feel your experiences with higher ups are the same as mine. MrBeast bitches, festivals, bars, 100% how it created Peaches as a writer. The whole brand is shady in the company. Showing their support or telling their story. Not about Chris. This is some producer I unfortunately can't speak too much on, but I believe someone else who reached out to you has more info. Big thing I can talk about is how much other stakeholders had their own time and energy wasted. I was asked to get doctors and orgs fired up about working with us, only to pull up the rug on them, and after agreeing to arrangement.
Stories of you know, fake videos or.
Tarka on the set of Saving 100 Dogs bought one of the employees' dogs off them for $10,000 in a weird power play to see if he could pay someone enough to give up their dog. Instead of just adopting any of the 100 dogs of rescues at the shelter, Tyler was forced the production to put this dog into the video, the corgi, so he could receive the free dog food and pet insurance for life, despite the fact that the dog already had a home and that he is very wealthy. Keeping a real dog in rescue for being adopted and a new pet owner that could have used the free pet food insurance. You give it to the wrong person. Okay.
Unsafe practices.
In the world's most dangerous trap video with Mac, the reason Mac loses what he does is that loses when he does it. That was actually the final trap failed. There were no other rooms, so Mac purposely took a dive at the last possible moment. It's not uncommon to see people sleeping in the office because they work all night. The higher ups recently mocked the idea of work-life balance. Workster is very aware of how awful the company is. During COVID, Tyler Coughlin recently made fun of COVID regulations. While actively having transmitted COVID to... Wait, what? Physical conditions were sent to the hospital on the Olympics video due to the sets being built last second and not... What the...
You know, toxic workplace, stuff like that.
Yeah, that the toxic environment, like the faking videos, okay, not really a big deal for me, right? But obviously, like the parts that are like dangerous and hurting people, okay, that's like what the fudge. Again, allegations right now. We gotta say allegations. Without really being able to prove details, I can say that many of the people who receive hearings, oh my god, not the hearing aids, and C would have gotten them for free and cheap anyways, even without MrBeast intervening. Also, speak on to overall. Wait, okay, so that needs to be open, like how, right? There's no evidence. Like you need to open your evidence. That doesn't mean anything. Also, speak on the overall evidence and on provision of Jimmy Tyler Warren. Oh, and Jimmy being environmentalist with the team trees, and Team C is a joke. The dude has a massive carbon footprint. Yeah, I can see that, right? With like all the stuff that he's been doing, but isn't like him doing this kind of like making up for it? Is that a thing? I don't know. Sometimes I heard about the second hand is also alarming. Some stuff that it. Oh, okay, here we go. That's essay.
Stuff like that. I'm not really going to get into those claims because, for one, like most people want to stay anonymous, which I understand, and also like I think most of that stuff's just been covered with you know, the news coming out about Beast Games and everything. And also I have like more serious allegations that I want to start covering. Also, I heard from a very credible source that MrBeast has been sitting on a response to part 1 because he was worried if he posted it, I would instantly respond with part 2. You know, like this is Kids Bop, Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. Also, I know MrBeast's secret CEO has been practically like harassing my people on, you know, hey, what's in part 2? What does he know? So I will just tell you, James, what will be in part 3, so you don't have to harass my people. It will be about serious allegations of sexual misconduct in the company and your direct involvement in covering up those crimes. And I'll make sure to give you full credit and plaster your face all over the screen when we talk about that. So yeah, I've gotten dozens of messages from former MrBeast employees about very serious allegations. So I just want to put a call to action at the start of this video that, you know, if you have a story, you can DM me. Just make sure you send proof of employment first, because I get a lot of DMs. And like, as much as I meme and joke around, like, I take anonymity very seriously. So without explicit permission, I don't go public with anything. And obviously, if it goes to court, I would hope they would censor your information from the court documents. I don't know. Oh, and former contestants too. That's another thing I heard after posting my last video is during the 100 Boys versus Girls video, I have people corroborating the same story that the camera guy who gave the girls a drone was making some girls feel uncomfortable. You know, you trap these girls in a circle and make them sleep on rough turf and get them high on paint fumes, and then you try to f them.
Okay, that that seems really dark.
No, it's not dark. You're misunderstanding me, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah, you are. Because if the girl said no, then the answer obviously is no.
No.
But the thing is she's not gonna say no. She would never say no because of the implication.
Anyway, so that will be part 3. So, you know, MrBeast, do with that information what you will. I know Chucky didn't want to respond to those allegations. So anyway, my interview with Jake Weddle, I chose to interview him because I thought he was perfect because he was both on camera and behind the scenes in 2019 and 2020. And also, what people don't know is that he came back in 2021 to be the sole contestant of a MrBeast video, which never got uploaded because it went very badly. He also knows about another portable document format who was working at MrBeast while actually on the registry. And I'll get more into that story at the end of the video. So I got his DM, drove straight to New York overnight, did not sleep, just drank a bunch of caffeine. And I also only had one microphone in the interview, which he's wearing. So it's mostly just him talking. Also, like, final thing, people said my last video started slow. This video also starts slow. It you know, it builds up over time. But I'll do the retention thing and say, the ending will blow your mind. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Jake Weddle, everybody.
I'm Jake Weddle. Most people who, if you know me from MrBeast, I'm a deep cut. I'm in a few of the videos, sometimes maybe purposefully kept to the shadows a little bit. I'm in the cutting room floor a lot of the time. But I've been in some videos. I've worked on a lot of them. I was there from 2019 to 2020, 2021-ish when I came back and did some more. I was there when they were authentic, and then I saw the transition to what I feel like is a company. He's like a TV show now. It went from YouTuber guy with a camera to Amazon. The culture around there was very unspoken, but there was a vibe. There was half the people who, if you made Jimmy happy, you were on the good half. And these people got random bonuses and hold more screen time. And then there was people.
So I'm getting the vibe already that is he saying that Jimmy, MrBeast, became like McMahon in WWE? Not the SA stuff, but like the power, like where they were too afraid to speak up to him, and he only had yes men around him. Is that what it was?
People who, if you had a disagreement or butt heads with Jimmy, or just you didn't like it, you know, you were the other half. And
yes?
I consistently was in the half that Jimmy did. Jimmy doesn't like me. That's fine. I don't like him either. Oh, that feels so good to say. I don't like Jimmy. I hate you so much. He didn't want anyone to get more popular or have more of a way out necessarily. Like, oh, I'm doing my Twitch thing on the side. Don't do that because you could get famous and leave and talk about me negatively. And I could tell that the yes men were, you know, doing.
Yeah, a lot of companies are like that. Yeah, they don't want to know about your side gigs. If you tell them about your side gigs, they will try to terminate those side gigs, right? Because they want to keep you, especially if you're a good job what you do. But like, if you're a person who like is more phenomenal, well, I guess you can put it, and you want to do your own thing, you got to keep that to yourself and not tell your company you're working for, because they will try to terminate you right away. They'll try to stop you in some way or anything like that. Those are things that actually like I know about, heard about, seen about. Yeah, that's actually a known thing. What about you, Shadow? Is your worker? Does they know about your side gig, Shadow? Hopefully they don't, man, or you're gonna get fired. Or to make you sign a contract saying they own everything you create while you're enjoying you're employed by them. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yep, there you go. Like that was exactly what it. That's crazy to me, dude. It's like WWE. In WWE, when McMahon was in charge, I don't know what Triple H right now because I think some of them start doing other content right now. When McMahon was in charge, it's like with WWE, you cannot make any content anywhere else but WWE. If you do make other content somewhere else, you are either terminated or they get a cut of that content that you make, pretty much, or whatever it is. That's why my friends own the jerky business. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Well, hopefully you get out of that contract soon, dude. Hopefully everything goes well. Is Bell in? Oh my god.
Well, and I was, disgruntled for quite some time. So I've talked to reporters, right, like publicly, and I've always had to choose my words very, very carefully because I don't want to say anything I don't stand behind, obviously. So I used to talk to people. I used to glaze Jimmy publicly for things I do genuinely think are true. But then it's like, well, how come you didn't talk about the working conditions? Well, I wanted a career. I didn't want to, speak ill of YouTube's golden boy, and then I'm blacklisted forever. I tell people all the time, what are you doing? You're going to kill your career. I have to, or I'll be sad. If this is the moment, we're going to talk about it. So, as far as that, that's my covering up of why we didn't talk about XYZ sooner, but now you know.
What would you say is the fakest video that you worked on while you were there?
Fakest video that I worked on while I was there. This is the extent of the fakeness that I was involved to.
Well, guys, do you guys disagree about Jimmy faking videos? I really don't see it as a big deal. I'm not talking about the dangerous working condition. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the video itself, like the entertainment value of a video. I don't see it as a big deal, because I kind of already somewhat suspect that was somewhere not our place. I mean, he even said it on an interview that he has to change some things in order to make the video more entertaining. He needs to edit some things in order to make the video more entertaining. We already know this. He said this on a podcast or something like that. So it's not like a secret that he edits some things the way it's edited to be more entertaining and more to get the video continue going. So that's why I personally don't think it's a big deal. But hey, if you guys have a disagreement with that, please let me know.
This is admitting to my complicity. I was a writer there, and we were working on a video, crushing my friend's car with a rock or meteor or something. It was a rock or a meteor in the title of it. I can't remember, but he wanted to do a prank where, unbeknownst to the person, he takes a rock, crushes their car, and they're supposed to think a rock came out of space.
We're gonna take a meteor and we're gonna put it on Weddle's car. We're gonna take another meteor and put it on Marcus's car. Both of them have no idea that we're doing this. Weddle and Marcus are probably shocked. They had no idea.
And so that was the one and only time I had to, my car? What? And on the fly, I saw him, because Marcus was in that video. So Marcus is calling his mom. Marcus genuinely had no idea. He genuinely had no idea. But so Marcus is calling his mom, and his mom's freaking out. And I'm like, oh no, they're gonna call my mom next. So I had to text my mom, who had to beg to get the title very quickly. Now I'm texting my mom, I go, Mom, I'm about to call you about the meteor thing. You have no idea? Be surprised. And then I hit send, and then they go, call your mom now. And I call my mom and I tell her, and oh, she should have got the Oscar. Oh my God, on the fly, she goes, what? I'm on vacation. Mom, my car has been destroyed.
Wait, what?
A meteor hit it.
Jacob, I'm on vacation. Do you understand?
Yeah, I did that video, and they're supposed to give me $10K to put a down payment on a new car, and they wanted me to get a big flashy new car. $10K was supposed to be a down payment, and I can't afford a big flashy new car.
Doesn't make sense. Why you need a big fancy new car?
Because I work at MrBeast. So I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the taxes on. I couldn't get anything I couldn't afford the insurance on. So I do my part of the video, and I get a mom van that I could afford. And Jimmy was like, why didn't you get a cooler car? I was like, I can't afford that, bro. Come on, what are you talking about? If I was working on a TV show in the 90s, on a show that was a quarter as successful, I could retire today. But now I make dog shit pay making gajillionaires more money. And I just walked into.
I mean, that's how it works. It's like internships, the way they abuse the internship program on people, work for free in order to get experience in the work field, get recommended, etc., stuff like that. It's just how it works in the business, you know. Like when you see big successful people becoming successful, obviously you get more people to help you out, etc. But I'm telling you this, and hopefully I learn this if it does happen. I don't think it's gonna happen, but um if you have people working for you, make sure they're treated very well, because as soon as you let them go, as soon as something that you did wrong behind the scenes, they will expose the f out of that, right? Uh, or they'll make things seem more worse than it actually was, right? Like, it wasn't as bad, but they're making it more bad, right? Again, it could be so many factors, right? It could be real, it could be fake, it could be all these factors because you screwed them over. So I'll say, like, if you have people working for you, you better treat them right, or else they're gonna expose your ass for the most part, especially for content creators. I'm not talking about for big companies, because for big companies it's different. It's very hard to like be a big whistleblower on this kind of stuff. But for like a YouTuber, even though they have like a big kind of like business, I guess you could say, or they're becoming bigger, it's more of a chance with this than like a big company, obviously. But yeah, it's like, yeah, just treat people correctly. Obviously, not every video is gonna come out perfect. There's gonna be accidents. Things gonna happen. Those are not like the worst thing in the world, right? Because things happen, right? Nothing's perfect, right? Um, and but I mean, the more stories are coming out, man, the more it's like, God damn, dude, insane. Again, faking videos, not the worst thing in the world. But other than that, it's the other stuff. It's like, bro, the third part is gonna be worse than this. Come on, man.
To the writer's room. And that's one of the reasons why I left, was because I just walked in there and asked for not necessarily a gajillion dollars, but maybe a salary that was more proportional to the work I was doing, given how much revenue that work was doing. And then, I talked about that, and I talked about the Writers Guild and how this is what Writers Guild industry standard is for the streaming internet content with ads. I thought that was the closest thing to YouTube, and I didn't even bring up residuals, because oh my god, if I got residuals for every video I worked on, boy howdy, I could retire. But
Oh yeah,
the other thing I talked about was there was another writer there, older comic, black guy. He had a kid, and I got paid more than him, and I thought that was wild because he was older than me, had a child. We're doing the exact same job, and I'm some 20-year-old fuckhead white guy. Why am I getting paid more than him? I brought that up, and one of the things I didn't like about the way some of the V stuff shook out was.
Well, is it like, did you work? I would say that you work longer than he did. It doesn't matter the age. If you work longer, it's not surprised that you got paid more than he did. What's something wrong about that, guys?
I feel really guilty about the way this shook out. Yeah, I was talking to this other writer, like, it's fucked up, that's how the pay is, and I want you to get paid more, because you deserve to get paid more. I don't have a kid. And he didn't want to rock the boat. He desperately didn't want to rock the boat. He's just, I like my job. I like, because when you grow up with, nothing, not to say that he did, but I know I did, you get a little something, you don't want to lose it. So he didn't want to rock the boat.
Well, I can understand that.
But he said, "Hey man, if that's how you feel, if that's I trust you." He stood with me. He went to that meeting with me, and I said my piece, and he backed me up. I said, "I need XYZ, or I'm out of here." And they said, "Bet," and they gave me a severance check the next day, and they gave him a severance check the next day. And if I knew, if I knew he was going to lose his job too, I wouldn't have done it. Me, I was over the moon. I was like, "You're gonna give me a."
Well, either he's the one a great actor, or that's just fucked up, man. Are you crying? Because he cost someone else's job, pretty much. That's why. Cause like he was like, I guess another guy was working the same job he was. He was getting paid more than the other guy, and he was just looking for equal pay for the other guy to be fair. And the other guy had like a kid and all that, and so he went up to whoever in charge of that, I guess, quote unquote, complain, I guess, quote unquote, um, say, hey, if you don't give him the fair share, I'm out of here. So like, so what he thought it was like, oh, if I'm out of here, you could raise his money up, but I'm out, right? But instead of like them doing that, it's like, oh, you're both on fire. Here's your severance pay. Bye. Like the savage business kind of thing, you know?
A check and I get to leave? You know, I don't get to deal with the yeah. How many Orbeez can I fit up my asshole every day? You know, and I get to go home and you're gonna pay me to leave. I was over the moon. And he was devastated. He did not want. I said he just wanted to be in the room, you know? And I really regret that. But you know, me and him are really still tight. We're still good friends.
Is he doing good?
Yeah, he's doing good. He's a good guy. I love that guy. He's doing good. Yeah.
So maybe you was feeling better?
Honestly, best thing I could have done for him. Now that he's a very, very far removed from all this crazy shit, I guess.
Do you think Jimmy really enjoys doing good and helping people?
I think Jimmy wants to be the best YouTuber. I think he is laser focused on one goal. And I think whatever he has to do to achieve that goal, he'll do. And I think it was the smartest decision for him that he calculated, because he's very good with numbers. If I donate to charity, people can't say I'm shitty. If I give this homeless guy 10K, what do you mean I'm a bad guy? But I've always thought, if you're gonna do something nice for somebody, and you stick a camera in their face while you do it, you didn't do a nice thing for somebody. You gained something. There was a homeless guy on the street, and you saw an opportunity for yourself and your image.
Shut up, Tristan.
And you gave one guy 10,000.
They're exposing MrBeast again. This is part 2, the first part of MrBeast. Just gonna see how you are for real. Hey, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. I am doing good. I came back from a doctor's appointment today. I got 2 bad things with me. Not the worst things in the world. It's just more I gotta fix. Which one I'm not surprised. Cholesterol's up. I have high cholesterol. Because again I haven't worked out for like a whole year. I did eat shitty. Guilty. Because you know this and that, but hopefully I can change that. But a little bit more and more. And then also I need to raise my vitamin D because I don't go outside to the sun. So that's another thing too. So yeah, again, it's a lot better, for sure. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, when I hurt my hand, I was eating shitty, man. I was eating Uber Eats like almost every day. Like when it was really bad. Now it's like I have good days and have bad days now. It's because I was adjusting when I go to work and get out. Now I know what you're. Hey, Shadow. I know what the fuck you're going through. By the way, now I understand you more. Me and you are one now. Because I what I did was I wake up, I drink water, I eat a banana, then I go to work. Right after I'm done working, I'm like I don't want to make nothing at home. Let me go get some fucking fast food. All right, and that's what was like going on, and that's why I wanted to change my schedule because it's like as soon as I'm done working, I'm streaming. I gotta stream. I gotta get something quick so I can eat and then stream. But that's why I'm changing my whole streaming schedule stuff. So I avoid eating that and obviously sleeping super late and eating bad foods. Yeah, so yeah, it's like that's why I'm changing a lot of my habits. That's why I'm streaming a lot earlier. Today I streamed late because I had to like be out of town, but I'm streaming Tuesdays to Thursdays now at 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. I know that's still late for you guys, but for me it's like a lot better because I go to sleep by 3 to 4 o'clock, wake up at 12, do my thing for 4 or 5 hours, whatever, and then stream around 5 o'clock. And so yeah, that the only time I'll be streaming on late will be on Saturdays for the most part, because I'll be working on Saturday, getting out Saturday, and also Saturday is gonna be like my cheat day to buy like somewhat unhealthy food, I guess you could say, and it won't be the biggest deal. It could be like once a week kind of thing, right? And that's the goal. Like if I could just do that, and that's why like Saturday's not a big deal, and I don't want to do it on Sunday because then Monday it will affect me on Monday, and it does all this kind of stuff, and yeah. So I'm making a lot of changes for my health too. So that's why I'm only streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays now, earlier now, and I'm not streaming on Friday because I got to work on Friday. I'm not streaming on Sunday because I got to work on Sunday. Mondays are like my complete lazy days, and also not really because I also work on other stuff, other projects too as well. So yeah, that is like the big plan. I'm trying it out, see how it goes. I did stream to like 3 a.m. yesterday, which was really cool. And yeah, it's like today I'm gonna stream to like 3 a.m., 2 a.m. and chill and make some more art and all that. So yeah. But yeah, it was a bad because again, I just started working, so yeah, I was in a bad food sense kind of thing. Like I wasn't overeating, but I was eating bad food, you know. So you can't say that again. I didn't hear it. I heard something about you had ADHD. No. I have low vitamin D. I need some D. I really need some D. I'm desperate for D. What's when can where can I get D? But I have high cholesterol too as well. So. But I will be fixing it. I'm fixing it more than ever. That's why I made some changes for what I'm doing. You can get vitamin D gummies at Costco. I don't have a Costco card. Maybe my dad does, but don't you have to scan the card now? I haven't been into Jack in the Box in months. Me neither. And the only reason why is because they're remodeling the restaurant, so it's not open. Anyways, back to MrBeast video.
Dollars who needed it to eat, and now the revenue you generated from that video is way more than what you gave. I think when he's generous on camera, it's the least authentic thing in the world.
I kind of disagree with him because when you make content of those things, they get a lot of views, get more money to do more good things, right? Again, I don't know what the reason why he's doing it, but I kind of disagree with him on that. Unless I'm wrong, let me know. Because like it's like, okay, you do a good thing and you capture on video, make money off of that video to do more good things, right? Isn't that like a thing? I gotta tell you something, yo, what up, great man? Why are you sad? Uh-oh. Is it because I'm not making art fast enough, or MrBeast being like called out a lot lately?
There's an element of, you know, oh, hey, you're crying. That's so good for camera. You know, I'm so glad he's, if you're crying because you're so thankful that you got XYZ, and then you go, oh, I'm so glad he needed it that bad so I could come in and, oh, can you cry more? Oh, it's so good for the camera if you could, oh, it made me uncomfortable that I was working there, and I didn't like it, and I vocalized it sometimes, and I think that's why I wasn't on camera as much as they said I was going to be. I was told at one point that I was going to be like fourth banana, you know, it was going to be Jimmy, Chris, Chandler, me, you know, and then that never happened. I remember talking about that, like, hey, I thought my contract said XYZ. And then I got the severance checks, so, you know, whatever, all that regard.
So after your severance checks, how was your relationship with the company? I know you appeared in videos after that, right?
Right, so in videos where I was appearing in later, that's why you keep nice publicly. If you're nice in public, hey, Jake was nice in public, let's have him back for something. You know, yeah, sure. So I was hoping they call back, you know? And I appeared in some videos after I left. I think one of them was 3 days in a maximum security prison. If I did do mini challenges in that, I got paid. I was, you know, clocked in with a rate, and I would get paid and compensated for those.
Why are you sad? I'm gonna go by. All right, Tristan, I'm gonna stop by.
I paid a lot for it, but it didn't.
New content coming out on YouTube.
It didn't come out because it didn't go well. There was a video that came out probably like a year ago, something like that. It got a lot of hot water when it came out. It was the like surviving like.
YouTuber MrBeast paid a man $340,000 to spend 21 days in windowless room, according to his new video. Wait, what?
$10,000 every day you survive in solitary or surviving in solitary for whatever. It was one of those solitary confinement videos that got a lot of media attention because everybody saw the premise and thought, what? You shouldn't do that. And people don't know that was the second attempt. The first attempt was on me, and it didn't go well.
Wait, what?
I was already planning on moving to New York, and I had worked at a couple of YouTube companies after Beast, and I had a little bit of change in my pocket. You know, the most change I had in my pocket ever. You know, small potatoes, you know, compared to Beast bullshit. But you know, I thought I had enough to move to New York or whatever. And I get a call from somebody over there, and they go, "Hey, they want you for a video." I was like, oh, amazing, great, cool, thank God. What's the video? And they tell me the pitch. And they try to make the pitch sound like it's going to be like a walk in the park. The pitch is 100 days in solitary confinement. But don't worry, like you only have to last like 30. We have like a video. They're pitching it like at first it's going to be like a luxury vacation. You're going to have like a hot tub and an ice cream machine. And like part of the video is going to be you deciding like what items am I going to get rid of, today? And it's like the choice. They were like, it's only going to be bad for you to last like 5 days tops when you have like nothing left. You're the first, it's going to be like a breeze for most of it. And by the end of it, after 30 days, you're going to get $300,000 because it's $10,000 a day. And I don't know, man. I grew up poor in North Carolina. I said,
You're not
excuse
money?
me? I'll dance for you if you put that kind of money in my face, sure. They were like, you're going to be locked in this room, and we got to make sure you're on all the time. We're going to have cameras on you all the time, and you're perfect for this because you never shut the fuck up. On paper, I was like, okay, I can do this, and I was. They always cut me out of the videos. They always, and I was, editors have told me that it's because you have too much of a personality. And so with this video, I thought, this is perfect. It's a video they can't cut me out of. I'm the guy. And so I thought, well, if I have to do this, if I have to do solitary confinement in order to do the things I want to do, then I will do that. That I held my tongue and I swallowed my pride and I tried to do one last ride. I get there. And at first it's fine. And they had just freshly painted the set. You could smell it, which that's probably not good. The smell of fresh paint in your surroundings for the next XYZ time. It looked good on the visual. It looks good on camera. It's movie magic bullshit. It was a terrible facility. It was in one of the studios. They had to get a separate tank for septic stuff. There was a hot tub in it. Yeah, there was an ice cream machine. Things were cool and funny on paper. But when you think about stuff, a hot tub that's not connected to a filtration system, give it 3 days, it's gonna stink. There's not a hot water mechanism, so the hot tub was a lukewarm tub at best, which is a silly complaint. The shower was always cold, and you're taking a quick shower, and I had cameras 24/7 on me, and the ice cream machine. Let's talk about that for a second. The ice cream machine has 2 modes: on, and off, reeking of smelly dairy mildew. So I got to choose which sense was assaulted at a time. I couldn't have all of them good. So the little things started to build up. There was the bug thing wasn't terrible, but it was a factor. And at first it was fine, and you're playing it up because it's a video. And it got to a point where they weren't turning the lights off. I asked them, I said, can we have nighttime hours? And they said no, because it would fuck up the time-lapse shots. The time-lapse of what? Me sleeping? Or me not sleeping? Yeah, I saw in other videos they did oh, you're gonna get XYZ hours of sunlight. Oh, great! Well, I don't know how they figured that one out. I didn't have it. One of the things was you got to take away your clock, so you didn't know what time it was. Okay, I got no access to sun. I got no access to clock. I don't know, the lights are on me all the time. I wasn't sleeping. I could not sleep, and I have insomnia problems now. But they might have started there. I had good people looking out for me.
Bro. What the hell
I had a lot of good people looking out for me saying, this we gotta stop. So I just wanted to turn the lights off. And I'm vocalizing to people, I wish the lights would turn off. And I go up to my friend, my good friend. And I go, they're not turning the lights off. He goes, what? That's a war crime. We're not allowed to do that to terrorists. Oh, good. 24 hours breaking the Geneva Convention, I guess, is what we're doing. So, they're giving me, melatonin,
Melatonin?
It's not helping, and then Jimmy would come in every other day for an hour, to check in on me because he's doing other stuff. I'm just the guy in the cage over here. He'll come back to me in a minute. And so he'd come by, he'd get the shots, he'd leave. Sometimes he'd have a note with the director over the phone. That would really piss me off. This is the note I got from the director, from Jimmy, when I'm receiving some cash. He said, Jimmy said, can you say to the camera how thankful you are that now you can pay back your student loans?
What?
You know how hard it was to do a take of that? And pretend to make it genuine? I don't want to have student loans. I don't want to be in a cage. But Jimmy's the guy with the money, and if you do what he says, he'll do what you want. You want your student loans paid off? You just be in this cage. And you have power over people. When one person doesn't have resources and the other one does, and they hold it over your head, and you go, of course, yeah, I agreed to it. I needed it, of course. Just something about like having the cameras on me all the time. Like I was not having a good time, but we were filming a video, so I was trying my best to be funny. You know, I'm a dark comic. You know, I got bits about. I had a very traumatic life. I have my dad is in jail for sexual assault of a minor. You know, so this kind of stuff is very near and dear to my heart. You know, I don't fuck around with this shit. Yeah, I have jokes about that in my act. You know, I joke about it because that's what you do in a traumatic experience. You know, abusive relationships. I get out of it. The first thing I do is I do a typine about it. You know, so I'm in this situation where my mental health is not good. My physical health is getting worse, but we're filming. So I'm doing bits. I'm talking to the camera. And I'm being, you know, like, hey, it's been a couple days. I'm not doing so hot, you know, which if I'm filming a video, that's what I should be doing for the camera, but it was too real. If they're faking videos, why couldn't we fake this one?
Yeah, there you go.
You know, if we're allowed to let these cast members have some time off of this difficult challenge, how come we couldn't turn the lights off? How come we couldn't maybe not have some time-lapse footage for 10 seconds?
Did you try to get out?
Yes! I was starting to calculate, I don't know if I could do 30. How much can I, well, how can I manage to get out of here sooner and still have a video and still have some cash and get the plug, man. I did. Since we're doing time-lapse shots and since they insisted on time-lapse shots, I said, all right, we'll give you time-lapse shots bet. I put my YouTube on with the whiteboard they gave me. And I was like, all right, yeah, go ahead and scrub that footage. You know, you got that whiteboard. Oh no, either that goes in or this footage is unusable. And then, you know, James Warren came in and erased it. You know, fucking, you know, don't put that. Hey, we can torture him. Don't you dare let him get a plug in there. You know. Like we were playing up the joke. You know, it's like I'm the boy in the cage. You know, whatever. Like I'll play into a joke. Whatever, it's fine. It's just something weird about when Jimmy jokes. I have jokes about my dad. Because I love jokes with my dad. I'll joke with my dad all the time. That guy's a piece of shit. I hate my dad. I have friends that make fun of my dad. That's fine, because I know their intent. I know where they're coming from. When Jimmy joked with my dad, and I said that to seem weird. I don't like it. We were doing that, one of those hide and seek videos. Again, you know, at the time, they were a lot realer. So I got caught. And when you get caught, you know, you go to the place where you get caught. And I don't know if there's footage of this. I don't know if, you know, I definitely didn't make the final cut. But he says to me, all right, you go to jail, you know, like your dad. And like, it's a joke. But when my friends do it, it's fine. And Jimmy just wasn't my friend. He was my boss. And that wasn't cool. And so now, I'm locked in a cage at his whim. And I have to do things to get the cash I need to live. And I got these cameras on me all the time. And I was unwell. I had editors coming up to me saying, "You good, bud?" And I was like, "Yeah, why? You're clearly unwell." And he goes, "Well, because the footage you're sending in is haunting. Because I'm trying to be funny, but I am mentally decaying, so I'm doing bits." Someone said there is a horror cut of a video in this. And I said, like, who's watching this? Like, who wants to see this? What is fun about this, the video? And so the thing that made me I gotta get out. I can't do another day in here. Jimmy comes in and I'm asleep. I don't know what time it is. I was like 2 or 3 or whatever. He's like, why is he sleeping? I don't know, because I can't sleep. And he comes in, he wakes me up. And he goes, ask me why I have 2 briefcases. And I'm like, why do you have 2 briefcases? And he goes, oh, because this one's for today, you know, and this one's for the challenge. And I go, what's the challenge today? He goes, you're gonna run a marathon. You're gonna do the 22.6K, whatever it is. And you're gonna do it on that treadmill over there. The first challenge I did was a Rubik's Cube, and I'm dyslexic, I'm dumb, I don't know how to do a Rubik's Cube. So your first challenge, Rubik's Cube. I was like, oh, I don't want to do it. I was like, on camera, I don't want to do it. He goes, just do it for the thing, like, kid, you know? Like, there was an element of, oh, Jake will do what we want because he's in-house. You know, that's one of the reasons why they got me. Jake's, he's an inside guy, so he'll do it. We can push him a little extra hard because
I wonder if this footage is still out there, right?
I couldn't say no to
the one
to whistleblower
the footage. Yeah. That'd be crazy.
So I people who run marathons train forever, and it's still hard. Again, writer. Do I look like I run? I don't run, you know. Let alone a marathon. Let alone that training for it. So I was in a sunlightless, you know.
Did you try to say no? Like, did you have a choice, or?
Based on the Rubik's Cube thing and based on all the other stuff, like there was so much pressure to just do it, just do the thing, you know. You know, and if I refuse, it's just, oh, that's the whole video. I guess the budget's, you know, so much money up in flames because Jake said he wouldn't want to do the thing, and so I wanted to be a good sport, and I wanted to get the boost, and I wanted the cash, and so I started running at 12. I was able to take some breaks, and I asked him, how long do I have? He goes, until I get back. And I'm running until 3 a.m. When I got off the treadmill, oh, the blisters I had on my feet were like, you wouldn't believe, just all over, just these big red. I couldn't walk. My muscles were like just.
I don't know, man.
Galactic acid.
It's very hard to say that he's faking this. If he's that emotional, but then again, he'd be a very good actor. But still, you know,
ice my feet, you know, make sure I was good.
I don't know, man.
That's when I was like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I'm out. I'm out. And that's when I get psych in, and I talk to the psych about how I'm not well, and like I said, there was a lot of good people over there that was saying, you got to pull him out. Yeah, I had friends that did some freelance work, and they would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, everyone knows you over there, everybody loves you. They go, oh, Jake Weddle, love that guy. Shame what happened to him. Like I'm a ghost. And I asked him, I said, how much longer are you guys going to keep me in here? And the guy goes, realistically, like at least 7 more days? No. And they didn't let me leave right away either. They wanted to make sure, everything was fine. So I just, slept for a while. They turned the lights off. And it's like they brought in all my friends, to make it. They brought in all the people I liked. And Jimmy. Then everybody was around me making sure I was good, making sure I was okay. But Jimmy had his he was sitting in the chair turned around like an evil villain. Swear to God, everyone was looking at me and he was like Lex Luthor over there.
What?
He turns around, he stands up. He does the exact same thing when he's pretending to have a human connection. You know when you're watching a video and he's like, oh, stop, you're gonna make me cry. And he touches his eye or whatever as if he's crying. He's just. I didn't have to pretend to do that shit. She says, as if rehearsed by his lawyers. Yeah, your mental health's the most important thing. Just want to make sure you're okay. And the last thing we want you to do is. I can almost hear the word Sue come out of his mouth. The S. He just stopped right before it got out.
Oh.
I did not get the 300K. What I got. He goes, think of it this way. At least you get to keep what you earned. You were in there for XYZ days. You did XYZ challenges, so you got you know, 100,000 some change, you know, give or take. You know how much money I spent in taxes in 2021? I spent $44,000 in taxes alone. And now I spent all that money on doing stand-up. I bought plane tickets to go do comedy festivals. You know, my family back home, I gave them a bunch of stuff that they needed. And haven't been back on a Beast set in any official capacity or unofficial capacity since then. And then they did the video with somebody else, and they worked out the kinks. And then I still got in some hot water, and I knew it would. And I've wanted to say a lot of this for a long, long, long time. And I feel good now. I just had to get that out there.
So I just want to hop in here and show some text that Jake sent me after this interview. This is July 29, 2021, a few days after he got out of solitary. How are you feeling after a few days? Better. I still couldn't sleep, even a few days out, but I almost have my sleep cycle back on track. My legs and joints are good, but the blisters on my feet still hurt to walk on. Medical advice I got was not to lance them and just let them go away with time. I'm mentally still in an uneasy place, but I've gotten back on better help. My therapist is a little concerned, but we are working on things.
Oh, damn.
Ryan, this is not supposed to be a traumatic life event. This is supposed to be a MrBeast video. Hey Jake, hope you're doing okay. Meg and I just wanted to check in on you. Hey, I'm good and I appreciate that. I'm not exactly 100%. I feel like mentally I'm still recovering a bit, but back in therapy and my therapist is concerned. Haha, but my legs and joints feel better. Like I can walk, but my feet are still covered on those blisters and those hurt to walk on. But I was told the best thing to do is stay off my feet and let them heal. I'm in Raleigh with my family. Also, it'll be like a month before I get the money, and they aren't giving me all the money. They're giving me what I won up to that point in the game, which was also a slap in the face, but hey, I'm out, I'm alive. Therapist who knows and cares about you. The whole thing was so fucked, and honestly, fuck them for not giving you the money. Meg and I are wishing you the best with your recovery, and please feel free to reach out if you need anyone to talk to or need a place to crash in New York. Hope you're doing well, man. That video you uploaded is money, so good. I appreciate. I'm doing better physically. Mentally, I'm still kind of in a place. I still can't sleep. I've slept 5 hours in the past 3 days, marathon included. I don't know what's wrong with me. Lots of thinking, too much one might say. Hope they're taking care of you where they can. I mean, I was kind of shocked they didn't pay me for the full 25, 30 days. They paid me what I made up to that point. Like even when we have to pull the plug for my mental health, the mechanism of the game is still at play. I'm just happy to be out. I still can't walk well, but it hurts less. And like, I'm not famous enough to burn a bridge. So at the end of the day, I'm still Jimmy's bitch. Like if I was Carl and he did that to me, I'd ruin him. And they want to do it again. That could be your leverage. If the guy breaks down also, 2 is better than 1. Yeah, right. I told them everything they did to me that they can't do again in order to make sure the other person doesn't break down as fast. But like the way the video is meant to function is the problem. It's a bad idea, full stop. It sounds clickbaity, sounds right up Jimmy's alley, but it's morally unethical like on every level. Off-camera breaks, lights off at night, visitation, take the marathon out. Marathon is a video in itself. You can't expect someone to exert themselves like that for 45 seconds of content. The challenges really made it feel dehumanizing. Felt like a parody of MrBeast. I felt like the homeless guy they could exploit. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. It felt like if Jeff Bezos had a GIMP. Part of me wants the footage burned, and part of me thinks that there's a great horror cut in there. LMAO, he was so fake when he came in and said he cared about my mental health. They must have programmed the care about mental health updates. He said, we also don't want you to, and I swear to our Lord and Savior, like he stopped himself from saying sue. Also, as far as like, he could have said no, he could have left at any time. I want to show this segment from an internal document at MrBeast called How to Succeed in MrBeast Production. Specifically on page 19, there's a paragraph called No does not mean no. Already insane, because it's sort of, it seems to be co-opting the popular anti-rape slogan, which is a terrible look given the allegations that are going to be coming out very soon. It reads, when dealing with people outside MrBeast Productions, never take no at face value. If we need a store to buy everything inside of, and you can call the local Dollar Tree, and the person that answers says, no, you can't film here, that literally doesn't mean shit. Talk to other employees and see if they are fans or if any have kids that are fans. Try talking to their boss's boss. Have me DM them on Twitter and try their social team. If all avenues are exhausted and you are left with a no, that doesn't mean don't try the other Dollar Trees, because the manager of those could be huge fans and willing to bend the rules. Basically, what I'm trying to convey is what we call pushing through no. Don't stop because one person told you no. Stop when all conceivable options are exhausted. This is one of many tools that when combined dramatically improve your probability of success when producing here. So yeah, this idea of like pushing through no's is a big component to working at MrBeast. And the way that it manifests itself a lot of the time is like a director might tell a producer, hey, we need access to 30 acres of farmland by Tuesday or we lose $500,000. Now, if you're the producer, you obviously know that means get it done or you lose your job. So what can happen is like a producer's calling up farmers saying, hey, I need to use your land. And the farmer might be like, okay, but you know, I have animals, you can't be making really loud noises, no pyrotechnics, and you got to clean everything up. So the producer is sort of incentivized to lie and say, or maybe the producer doesn't even actually know the total contents of the video, right? Things changed last second. So they're very like, they're financially incentivized to be manipulative and sort of, they're put in positions where it's like, oh, it's either the producer's job or a civilian's job, like where it talks about, hey, maybe the manager would be willing to bend the rules. Well, you shouldn't really be pressuring civilians to bend the rules that could get them fired, you know? I'll show you a real life example. This is unused evidence
like
from part one. I'd seen this Reddit post titled MrBeast leaving trash behind and debris at film site in Aden, North Carolina. Apparently he left a large boat in a pond as well as debris around the film site in the bottom of the pond weeks and weeks after the agreed time frame. This actually rendered it unsafe for campers and almost delayed the camp's opening date multiple times due to not being able to get in contact with MrBeast to get the stuff cleaned up out of the area. So I actually know that this is from a MrBeast video called Protect the Yacht, Keep It. Where at the end of that video, he actually says,
and if you're wondering, yes, we did ensure the lake was completely cleaned up after this video. For the love of God, subscribe so we can pass T-Series.
Yeah, so he says at the end of the video that they made sure it was cleaned up. I was actually on site for part of this production. I was at this camp. So I decided to send an email out to the camp, basically saying, hey, I heard these rumors. I'm investigating a similar incidents. And the camp responded, actually not denying the claims, going on to say, I am sure that there are no perfect film productions, just as there are no perfect people. I am grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew, and because grace, or forgiveness, has been offered to me so freely, I will choose to offer the same. So clearly alluding to the fact that there was a wrongdoing by MrBeast production team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you...
Hold up. Is that right? Ken Director makes the comment that subcontractors perversely some city podcast, but not notable, does not deny MrBeast left trash to the film site. He's been going to say that he is offering grace, forgiveness to the production crew responsible. So I'm sure that there are no perfect film production, just as there are no perfect people. I'm grateful for the opportunity that we had to host the production crew. Thank you for reaching out. We're now focused on finishing out the Great Summer Camp. We are not interested in discussing this any further. So did it forget to clean sunspots, or what the fuck? Or it's just like, it is what it is kind of thing. We cleaned it ourselves. I don't know. It's weird.
Team. And that's like sort of the thing is, if you're around Greenville, you know these stories of people working with MrBeast and it being extremely unprofessional, them not doing what they say, but they sort of get by a lot on their good public image. And like, I mean, this camp offered to host them completely for free. And I guarantee, like, if you went to the lake at the camp and you went magnet fishing, like you'd find all sorts of debris that's still there to this day. Like they didn't clean it all up. So in the case of Jake Weddle, like I'm sure that there were producers who were in a position of, hey, if Jake gets out early, we don't have a video and your job is at risk. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on top of like him being delirious from not sleeping and everything to just manipulate him into staying. Which, you know, I'm sure this isn't like technically against the Geneva Convention on torture because he wasn't technically a prisoner. Like he could have left at any time, but because of the extreme pressure to stay in, it's not really a reasonable expectation that he could have just, you know, walked out.
Because of the implication.
I think Jimmy is a awkward kid who maybe, had it a little rough growing up. I can't speak on that, but I do have empathy for it because I, had it rough growing up. And I think when you're hyper fixated on something, like I love stand-up, he loves YouTube, everyone, fixates on a thing, I think he just wanted to be the best YouTuber so bad, and because the industry's metrics, you know, rewarded some not great behavior, if you're just going on autopilot based on what the numbers say, you know, you can do some things that maybe aren't good, but reap reward. And I think Jimmy just did what the industry and maybe what the system that we have set up demanded. And he didn't care who got hurt. And I think Jimmy surrounded himself with really, really not so great people, and those people were the ones making the decisions. And I want to say, really important, there are so many good people that work at MrBeast who are damn good at their jobs. Like, when Jimmy comes in and asks for something impossible, it's these people's jobs to do it. And they shouldn't be able to make it happen, and they do. And so I don't think people wanted to talk about stuff because I didn't want my friends to lose their jobs. I don't care about my fucking job. I'll die in a hole. I don't care. But I don't want my friends to lose their jobs. You know? I don't want anyone's reputation to be fucked. You know? But let's just go back to my dad for a second, if I may. My dad was like a swim coach, your neighborhood swim team. Everybody loved him. Everybody loved him. Behind closed doors, he's a real piece of shit. And so when stuff starts hitting the fan, what? Him? No. Surely. And then, you know, everyone, you know, thought my mom was the bitch, you know, for not, you know. The day the news broke, you know, that he did what he did to one of the students of the team. And it's like when that comes out, you're not surprised, you know? You just go. When I saw my dad in the news, I said, "Oh, you idiots." Like, I was like, no, I was, oh,
Chimichanga?
dumbass, god damn it. But I wasn't surprised. And it was just consequences happening to somebody who was really good at avoiding them for a long time. And I don't know, everybody loves Jimmy. And behind closed doors, he is not super great. And that image is cultivated purposefully and intentionally. And it's branding, it's marketing, it's YouTube.
Okay, so I guess, yeah, just one final question on a serious note. Obviously, the Ava Chris Tyson drama, and, you know, that's a known issue of traditional media. Did you witness or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
It's crazy. I probably hung out with Ava the most out of the main cast just because I was on Beast Hacks. Now Beast Reacts. I don't know if it's still out. That was a lot of fun because it was just, you know, being silly and goofy in front of the camera. And Ava was the only person who was willing to film. Everybody else was too busy or didn't want to, and I was just trying to do my job. Sometimes there'd be like an offhanded joke that's a little gross. I mean, I'm a stand-up, so I'm very desensitized to that. I didn't hear anything that was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like when I saw, the reason I messaged you instead of talking to reporters sweetly like I have been was when I saw the Discord stuff because when I got there, it was like 2019. So I guess if the timelines add up, that would have been like handled, for lack of a better term. And then they started bringing more people on. You know, maybe they thought they had that under the rug, you know. All right, we handled that. Now let's bring in some writers, you know? And when I saw it, all that stuff start coming out. And the potentiality, as of this moment of recording, you know, I know this has been happening fast and stuff has been coming out so fast. Just the potential that Jimmy could have been in those Discord chats, or even the potential that he participated in those Discord chats. After the shit he did to me, and if you're gonna make fun of my dad, I don't care what happens to me and my career and reputation after this. I had to say some stuff. So whatever happens at this point.
Outside of Chris Tyson, did you notice any or hear about any sexual misconduct at the company?
Ooh.
I've heard rumors. I can't confirm or deny anything. I don't have any tangible evidence, but I've heard stuff that if it could be investigated, that'd be great. But it's like water cooler talk. But I've heard things, yes, of course. I heard, people have been let go for sexually assaulting some very young people. The idea that Jimmy didn't know, or that Jimmy was covering stuff up. He didn't want stuff to come out. He's very careful about his image. The tangible proof that he knew but covered it up. How do you prove that, Well, there was a known sex offender, registered sex offender, convicted sex offender on the registry and everything.
Wait, what the fuck?
Who worked there.
Why is it getting blurry? The hell?
And you can, someone pees in public, you're on the registry, you get it. You can still have a job after you're on that's one thing. You go to prison, you get rehabilitated, that's one thing. If you do your time, that's fine. I think there should be rehabilitation in this country. But that guy, from what I hear, I can't confirm or deny, from what I hear, he's on the registry for doing some not great stuff to some underage people. And they knew that.
11?
He's working at a channel that has underage people on and around and is targeted to underage people.
Who the fuck is it?
And they covered up the fact that not only did he work there, but he was like the manager when it all started. And that he knew, and because he'll be in videos, he'll be in thumbnails, he'll be around.
Who the fuck is
whenever
it?
He is. He's wearing a mask. Why would you wear a mask? Why would you conceal your face? It's like, what are you concealing? That you are a registered sex offender? And that your face could be looked up on a thing? How?
You can't rehabilitate PDFs. Yeah, I mean, I have no opinion on that, if being honest, bro. That's just, How
much more can you literally cover up a sex offender with a physical mask? Do I have to? Is it more on the nose, or? I don't know why they let him go, because there's rumors back and forth. So I don't know why they let him go, but he did leave at one point. Even if that guy didn't do anything, they still knew about it, and he was still around. And what if he's one of the people in the Discord servers? What if he's not? I don't know. But when I was there, they called him Delaware. It's like, why do you call him Delaware? I didn't know. Apparently, they called him Delaware because he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. That's his nickname? Colloquially? It's Delaware. Don't ask for why.
I guess the guy on the video with the mask on, I guess he's a PDF who was banned from Delaware. I guess, again, all this is just alleged, right? Because, again, it's just this guy saying. But he said there is a part 3 after this, where it's gonna expose a lot of the SA stuff, and it's like, bro, I did not see this coming. MrBeast going down. I did not see this coming. I mean, is he gonna completely go down? As of right now, no. We'll see. We'll wait for part 3, and we'll have to wait after the whole lawsuit and everything too.
The fuck? Did Jimmy know about it? The likelihood that he didn't know is astronomically low.
Okay, so finally I have a recorded phone conversation. The person on the other end of this line is a different former MrBeast employee talking about Delaware. Also, apparently before this phone conversation got recorded, the person on the other end of the line said that the MrBeast team was actually trying to expunge Delaware's record off the registry, and that's what actually sparked this person to start recording.
Yes, he was a hustler dude. What? Oh my god! Get them, cat. Wait, they're using a robotic voice changer because I guess they don't want to expose the person. I guess. I don't know.
gets you an APL manager, and then we went through that whole cycle of different VPs and managers, and, you know, people don't want to talk to us anymore because they're scared of Jimmy. And if you really don't do anything in the affidavits or testimonials from people, you have to move very quickly because one of those people are going to go back and say things.
Okay, so Reed is Mr. Beast's former
hell?
manager who was in the last video telling Jimmy, you know, hey, don't promote gambling to children.
Right.
So, you know, I think Reed's taken 2 W's this.
I think Reed, the first part of that video, I think was like, hey, we shouldn't do this because like this thing will get a big backlash. We shouldn't do this, and so they didn't do it. So that part was like not, was like whatever's part. But yeah, I guess Reed is the good guy.
This month, you know, don't promote gambling to children and don't have offenders on payroll. Also, yeah, just from where I'm sitting, it seems extremely unlikely that Jimmy wouldn't know, but you know, I know I'm sure that's the defense he'll go with, so I'll just say preemptively, like, you know, if somehow Jimmy didn't know about Delaware, I think it's still such an extreme level of negligence. Like, what, you're not doing background checks, you're not, everyone at your company knows, but somehow you don't know. I think that needs more of an explanation.
I mean, there's a small possibility he didn't know because of how busy he is and all the stuff that he's doing. Like he said in the earlier part of the video, he goes in and out of shoots. You know what I mean? So, is it possible? Yeah, I can see it, but again, I don't know, man. It's just all like, there's no proof, right? It's a he said, she said right now on this part of the video.
Than just saying, I didn't know. Well, how didn't you know? How did this person get into the company and you know, a company that makes content for children and is around children? So yeah, Jimmy, I think we need an explanation from you or you know, your lawyers and PR people and representatives and spokespersons and on how you could have not known that there was an offender at a high level in your company.
But other people knew and should have informed him. But remember, that is true, right? But it's like they're afraid to talk to him. They're afraid to like bring up any conflict thing. I don't know. It's all over the place. It's like, so they don't want to tell him because they're afraid what he was gonna do, like fire them instead. I have no idea. Like, that's just weird, right? So it's like, I'm not saying he didn't know, but we just need more evidence of him not knowing. You know what I mean? That's all, right? Because again, this is just all one-sided about it. I want to remind people, these 2 videos are all one-sided for the most part, because one content creator with his, like, his evidence, his receipts and stuff like that, and employees is a robotic voice, so it's like, you know, you have to wait for the other side of the story. I mean, that's gotta keep it fair, even if it's like there are like potentially bad people. You just gotta wait and see. You gotta wait for all the evidence to come out. So, but it's not looking good. I would say it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good.
Company. And while you're responding to that, why not just respond to the allegations of rigging contest videos and selling fake signatures, running illegal lotteries, you know, the dangerous conditions on the set of Beast games, you should address those too. So yeah, just let us know. Okay, that was my interview with former MrBeast employee Jake Weddle. I know he will be coming out with a longer cut of this interview as well as other content. So I just wanted to shout him out. Jake Weddle, top link in the description.
I've waited a long time to talk about a lot of this publicly, so thank you for doing what you're doing.
They wouldn't be able to put this out if it's not real because they will be defamation, exactly. But then again, also defamation is very hard to win a court case too. See what's gonna happen, dude. Part 3 is gonna come out. Who knows, dude? MrBeast, it's not looking so good. It is one-sided right now, for the most part. Even though there's a lot of receipts, other people, and all that kind of stuff. We have to wait for the other side because that's the first thing you could do, and not go to pitchforks and try to destroy someone. But we'll see how all that's gonna go, guys. Holy shit! Like, I don't know what to say, man. Honestly.